Hi guys, Dazzie here with another episode of my weekly Newsround series. Woohoo! This time it's episode 17. A ton, and I mean a ton of information to get through. It's going to be spoiler filled as always. I'm not going to be including hot comic book alert news. That's for you to track back and watch. But, like I said, if you don't mind the odd spoiler, this is for you. What's trending this week in our fantastic community? Gwyneth Paltrow is closing the door on her tenure as Marvel's Pepper Potts, saying after Avengers Endgame she doesn't expect to want to do any other Marvel Cinematic Universal films. At the same time, however, she said she would always be there if Marvel asked her to film a short cameo. I mean, I'm a bit old to be in a suit and all that at this point, the 46-year-old actor told Variety. I feel very lucky that I did because I actually got talked into it. I was friends with Iron Man director Jon Favreau, and it was such a wonderful experience making the first Iron Man and then to watch how important it has become to fans. It ought to be a suit. A good suit is always in fashion. However, what Paltrow may be referring to is a superhero costume, like she wore in Iron Man 3. Back in October of 2018, an apparently leaked image of Gwyneth Paltrow in what could potentially be Iron Man rescue armor for Avengers Endgame surfaced. Given Potts and Tony Stark's breakup, surprise reunion in Spider-Man Homecoming, and how the first Endgame trailer put their relationship front and center, could Paltrow's retirement be another indication Endgame is Robert Downey Jr.'s last hurrah as well? Now that's interesting. You know, if Gwyneth isn't going to be around, there is strong rumours that either Captain America or Iron Man are going to die, or both even, making way for the new team, the Young Avengers. Could well be happening. Anyway, Avengers Endgame hits theatres on April the 26th. Gwyneth Paltrow has been pretty good in the role, you know. Wouldn't it be funny? You got Thor, you got Hulk, and everybody can't take down Thanos, but Gwyneth Paltrow's Pepper Potts delivers the killing blow. Time will tell. Up next, Black Panther co-writer director Ryan Coogler is to produce the film Jesus Was My Homeboy, about the life of Black Panther activist Fred Hampton, according to Deadline. The Hollywood Trader also reports that Black Panther's Daniel Kaluuya, remember him from Black Panther, the movie? He is going, like I say, down to play the lead character of Hampton. Interesting stuff when you consider, like I said, that Ryan Coogler directed, obviously, Black Panther, and now he's going to be making a film about a Black Panther activist, starring a Black Panther actor. Atlanta's Lakeith Stanfield is also in talks to play William O'Neill, one of Hampton's fellow activists who turns him into the FBI, leading to Hampton's death during a police raid. Newlyweds director Shaka King will reportedly direct Jesus Was My Homeboy, which will follow O'Neill's point of view through Hampton's charismatic rise in the Black Panther Party and onto the FBI's radar, culminating in his death at the age of just 21 in 1969. Interesting stuff. Ryan Coogler is one of the best in the business currently. Now I'm excited because, as you know, following my channel, my best book in my collection is my Tales of Suspense issue 52. Now I put mine at about a 5 to a 6 grade. Now if you look on eBay now, you've got ratty copies going for about 400. Mine currently is in about the £1,000 mark, which is mind-blowing when you think I paid little over 100. But Marvel Studios has hired writer-director Ned Benson to do a rewrite on the Black Widow script, according to Collider. Benson is best known for writing and directing The Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby. Lore director Kate Shortland was hired to direct Black Widow back in July of 2018, based on a script by Jack Schaffer. Benson will reportedly be working off of Schaffer's last draft. However, Collider said there was a fairly specific reason that Marvel looked at Benson for the new draft, without going into further detail. Now, Black Widow was previously reported to be set before the events of 2012's Avengers. There is no release date for that film as yet. Now, we can spec as long as we want on this Black Widow film. I'm hearing it could well be R-rated. Now, I've spec'd on a book recently, Avengers issue 43 from the very first series, which has the first appearance of the Red Guardian. Now, the Red Guardian, in the comic books, is the husband of Black Widow. Could well be making an appearance from what I've been reading on the forums and the like. Excited for that Black Widow film. What's taking it so long? I know she's got no powers as such, but maybe put a bit of Hawkeye in there as well. A little bit of a team up, and it could be pretty good along the lines of Captain America. Sad day for me. Like I said, if you've been following my channel, my favourite comic book character is Jessica Jones, and my favourite villain is the Purple Man. Well, Netflix has cancelled Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and now they've added that they've cancelled both The Punisher and Jessica Jones. The recently filmed third season of Jessica Jones is still expected to air on the streaming service later this year. However, the company has reportedly preemptively cancelled any intention of subsequent seasons. Marvel's The Punisher will not return for a third season on Netflix, an unspecified Netflix representative told Deadline. Showrunner Steve Lightfoot, the terrific crew, and exceptional cast, including John Bernthal, I'm watching Punisher Season 2 at the moment, fantastic, delivered an acclaimed and compelling series for fans, and we are proud to showcase their work on Netflix for years to come. I just don't get it. I know money talks, but what were there, like 13 seasons throughout that Netflix universe? Just fantastic. In addition, in reviewing our Marvel programming, we have decided that the upcoming third season will be the final season for Marvel's Jessica Jones. The representatives continued. We are grateful to the showrunner, Melissa Rosenberg, star Kristen Ritter, and the entire cast and crew for 3 incredible seasons of this groundbreaking series, which was recognised by the Peabody Awards, among many others. We are grateful to Marvel for 5 years of our fruitful partnership and thank the passionate fans who have followed these series from the beginning. Getting a little bit choked up, I am. I'm going to miss those series. Now, with 5 significant Marvel characters, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and the Punisher, and high-profile villains like Kingpin without a television home, it'll be worth watching what the future of these characters will hold. Possibilities include revivals on the existing series on other streaming services like Hulu or Disney+, integration into the theatrical MCU, and or a reboot of the characters on film. Now, it is true, I've just been seeing comments from the Jessica Jones cast thanking all their supporters, but it is tragic because they were fantastic series, all 5 of them. Now, one of the main men in Marvel, in the hierarchy, has just come out and said that we are going to see more of the Defenders. So, fingers crossed. My guess is that Hulu might step in. But isn't there like a 2-year agreement that these shows are not going to... the characters can't turn up in anything else for 2 years? Gutted. Okay. Warner Brothers has reserved November the 20th, 2020 for the theatrical release of Legendary's June reboot, according to Deadline. The film is set to be shown in 2D, 3D, and IMAX theatres. Now, there is a fantastic cast lined up for June. That's June. Now, I've held my hands up. I have never actually watched the entire June original all the way through. The special effects don't stand the test of time, do they? But it's got a bit of a cult following. It's basically set on a desert planet, Acaris. June is the story of a boy, Paul Archerdes, who would become known as Muad'Dib, and of a great family's ambition to bring to fruition humankind's most ancient and unattainable dream, reads the publisher Ace's description of the original Frank Herbert novel. June will be directed by Blade Runner 2049's Denis Villeneuve with Timothy Chalamet starring as Paul Atreides. Other cast members include Rebecca Ferguson, Javier Bardem, Dave Bautista, from Drax, Charlotte Rampling, and Stellan Skarsgård. Additional actors reportedly to be taking part. I'm going to save that for a little while because we've got some good casting news coming up for June. More MCU news. Rick and Morty's Mike Waldron has been tapped as showrunner for Disney Plus's Loki television series. The reported premise of the show will reveal how Loki has an unlikely influencer on historical events as he pops up throughout human history. Now, this is a little bit different from what people have been specking on. A lot of people have been specking on one of the Thor books. Is it issue 617? Something along those lines. The first Kid Loki. But I don't think that's going to be the case. If accurate, that would imply work around the character's death in Avengers Infinity War, though it's not clear whether his murder at the hands of Thanos will be permanent. And not for nothing, but while Loki, thousands of years old, and the series could simply be a prequel, fans shouldn't completely rule out a possible time stone connection. Could that be the latest stone Loki steals for himself? Waldron is best known for his writing and producing work on cartoon Netflix's Rick and Morty, and he previously acted as showrunner on Starz' pilot called Heels that wasn't ordered to series. The Disney Plus streaming service is expected to launch later this year. A timetable for Loki has not been given. I'm excited. We're getting Loki. We are getting Falcon with the Winter Soldier. Groot and Rocket are being talked about, and we are getting a Vision and Scarlet Witch TV series, all on Disney Plus. Exciting times ahead. But what do you think about Loki's death, guys? For me, watching that Avengers Infinity War, it blew my mind that Thanos just, killed off Loki like that. And I love the Loki character, but I think it will undermine Thanos' power if Loki returns. I think he has to stay dead, in my opinion. I don't think he will, but I think that's the way I would like to see it go. The still untitled Star Wars 9 has wrapped filming, according to director J.J. Abrams. Abrams tweeted about the ending of the filming, along with a picture of Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, and Oscar Isaac from the film's set. There they are, all congratulating one another. Apparently against the backdrop of an unspecified desert planet, along with a message of thanks to the film's cast and crew. J.J. Abrams tweeted, "It feels impossible, but today wrapped photography on episode 9. There is no adequate way to thank this truly magical crew and cast. I'm forever indebted to you all." Now, I didn't mind The Force Awakens. I left totally speechless and heartbroken because they killed off Han. There were elements of episode 8 I liked, but for the whole of it, when Luke turned up and walked through those doors and you see him strutting and winking at 3PO, I thought, here we go. This is what we've waited 20 plus years for. And he went out like a puff of smoke. I did not enjoy that. I did not enjoy the fact in The Last Jedi that they built up Snoke, and he was looking good, he was powerful, and then the two of them just killed him off just like that. If he was this powerful, why couldn't he sense this was coming? And then you get scenes like Luke milking a creature. And then when you see Kylo Ren with his shirt off, it was just too much. Too much. But, like I say, there were some good elements in it. I didn't like the scene where they went to the cantina world, the gambling world, and they were riding on these things. That wasn't needed either. I wasn't a big... My main problem with episodes 7 and 8 is I don't enjoy the characters as much as the original trilogy. Even the prequel trilogy I've enjoyed more than episodes 7 and 8. I know not everybody likes the prequels, but for me, the last Revenge of the Sith was one of the better entries into the whole thing. I've enjoyed Rogue One and I've enjoyed Solo better than episodes 7 and 8. Now remember, Abrams' Star Wars The Force Awakens was set in part of Rey's homeworld of Jakku, and now the planet depicted in the set here could also be Tatooine, home of Luke Skywalker, or even potentially a new planet to the film saga. This may also constitute one of the first looks at Ridley, Boyega and Isaac's new film appearances as Rey, Finn and Poe Dameron, respectively. Also in the cast are Kerry Russell, Lupita Nyong'o, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Billy D. Williams. If they kill off Lando, there's going to be big problems. Dominic Monaghan, Kerry Marie Tran, Greg Grunberg, Adam Driver, Richard E. Grant, Naomi Aki, Jonas Suetomo, and Billy Lord. Now, the rumours I'm getting about this is that I think basically they're trying to say that the Sith, Kylo Ren and the Jedi, the New Order and the Republic are going to team up because they go to. I've been reading that the Knights of Ren, they've found this place and it is like the ultimate villain, and they're overpowered and Kylo Ren needs help and they all team up because this new villain is going to destroy the galaxy. I want a strong villain. Kylo Ren is not a strong villain for me. He's a good actor and not a bad character, but he isn't powerful enough like Darth Vader or an Emperor. Give me another Emperor. Oh yeah. More sad news, DCU news. Now Ben Affleck has addressed his departure, of course, from his role as Batman, a character he played across 3 films, saying his decision ultimately came down to his own inability to craft a satisfactory story for a Batman solo film. I tried to direct a version of it, and it worked with a really good screenwriter, but just couldn't come up with a version. I couldn't crack it, Affleck explained in his appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Chris Terino and Jeff Johns were both working with Affleck on the script, and so it was time to let someone take a shot at it. They've got some really good people. Of course, we're getting it from Matt Reeves now. But I'm a little bit surprised by that, because Ben Affleck is a good director. Wasn't it Argo he won an Oscar for or something? Now, Affleck stepped down as the writer and director of The Batman in January 2017, but remained attached to the film for a time after Matt Reeves took over the project. Now, The Batman is now in development for a planned 2021 theatrical release. No actor has been cast for the title role. Yeah, I've been reading a little bit of rumour about Armie Hammer is going to be lined up for the role. That could be just rumour. Time will tell. But I liked Ben Affleck. I don't know what you guys thought. For me, he was my Batman. Powerful, strong, took no prisoners. No, if a gun's there, you'll use it. If somebody needs killing, you'll do it. Take them down. That's what I want to see. And Christian Bale was okay. But Ben Affleck was good for me. He's going to be a sad loss. I just think it was the script writing a lot of the time that let him down. Justice League was okay. It wasn't great. But I never really got the opportunity. I love Batman vs Superman, the director's cut, and I thank Ben Affleck for that. There is something interesting. The origin story of Hasbro's Transformers will be told in an all-new animated series debuting on Netflix in 2020. I'm not the biggest Transformer fan, but I know my friends Lyric Magic Moments and Comic Vantage, they love a bit of Transformers. The series is being developed by Rooster Teeth and an animation studio, Polygon Pictures, with Transformers Combiner Wars writer F.J. DeSanto as a showrunner. In this Transformers origin story, we will explore the expansive universe of Cybertron in a way that audiences have never seen before, to the delight of both existing fans and those coming to the franchise for the first time, said John Durden, director of the anime for Netflix. The Transformers brand is a global phenomenon, and we are thrilled to partner with Hasbro, Rooster Teeth and Polygon to bring this exciting new series to our members around the world on Netflix. Pretty exciting times. Animated Transformers, I'm on board for that. Let's have some of it. Now, I spoke about Dune and another new casting. And Aquaman, yeah, Jason Momoa is in negotiations with the Legendary to play Swordsmaster Duncan Idaho in the planned Dune reboot. In Frank Herbert's original Dune prose novels, Duncan Idaho is a fighter loyal to the Atreides family, And after a small role in the first novel, fans clamoured for more, a la Star Wars' Boba Fett, leading Herbert to expand the role, along the way to becoming the only character to appear in all 6 of Herbert's original Dune novels. If cast, Momoa would join a growingly all-star cast that includes Timothée Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Dave Bautista, Stellan Skarsgård, Charlotte Rampling, Javier Bardem, and Josh Brolin. Yeah, Josh Brolin has also been cast. And Josh Brolin has been lined up to play Gurney Halleck. And Gurney Halleck is a weapons master and a minstrel who works for the Atreides family. He mentors young Paul Atreides to be played by Timothée Chalamet, who calls him Gurney the Valorous. He is notable for a scar along his jaw given to him by a whip carried by Glossu Raban, to be played by Dave Bautista. So we're getting Thanos versus Drax Part 2. Of course, Brolin and Bautista, like I said, battled it out. There was actually quite a deleted scene, boil record, that Drax and Thanos were going to have in Infinity War. It was I saw pictures of it. Now, a new animated Star Trek series is in talks for Nickelodeon, according to Deadline, and the show is reportedly being developed by Alex Kurtzman and CBS TV Studios, with Ninjago's Kevin and Dan Hageman penciled in to write. Nickelodeon envisages this as a major tentpole series for the network and would be the first modern-day Star Trek series aimed at younger audiences. The previously announced Lower Deck series is intended for mature audiences, as are the live-action Star Trek Discovery, Picard, and Section 31. This report comes 45 years after the conclusion of Star Trek's first animated series, which aired on NBC. Let's get some Captain Marvel news. Of course, that is the big one, isn't it? Early tracking from Marvel Studios' Captain Marvel projects that the film could take in $100 million in its March 8th opening weekend. I'm excited for that. That's my birthday weekend. Let's get a bit of Captain Marvel going. If so, the Brie Larson-led film would be only the 3rd MCU solo origin launch film to meet or exceed $100 million domestically in its first weekend, after Iron Man, which was $102 million, and Black Panther, which was $202 million. Black Panther was originally projected for $100 to $120 million domestic opening weekend 3 weeks out, but positive buzz ratcheted that up, those tracking figures, as it neared its release. Now, talking of Captain Marvel, of course, I'm going to show you a picture. Yeah, we all know who that is, guys, don't we? Captain Marvel's theatrical release is just around the corner, and Brie Larson, the star, is already thinking about a potential sequel and about bringing in Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, to a future film. My dream would be that Miss Marvel would come into play in the sequel, Larson told an audience at an unspecified stop on a press tour of Asia for Captain Marvel. That would be nice. Back in May 2018, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige confirmed that plans for Kamala Khan were in the works to follow the release of Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is shooting right now with Brie Larson, Miss Marvel, which is another character in the comic books. The Muslim hero who is inspired by Captain Marvel is definitely sort of in the works, said Feige at the time. We have plans for that once we introduce Captain Marvel. This is a little bit interesting. XMen producer Lauren Schuler Donner says she once had plans to do an entirely female-centric X-Woman movie through 20th Century Fox, though her plans ultimately fell through. I frankly wanted to see an X-Woman movie, Schuler Donner told Decider while discussing a franchise she helped spearhead with 2000's X-Men. I didn't get it through, but I think it would be cool. I think not to have no guys in it. You have to have guys in it, but to make instead of Charles and Magneto at the helm, it'll be whoever, Kitty Pryde and Rasputin, something like that. Even though Schuler Donner's idea never came to fruition, the filmmaker says there's still plenty of room for such a movie. The X-Men films are in a transitional period at the moment, with the fate of several unproduced films up in the air, thanks to Disney's impending purchase of some of 21st Century Fox's assets, which will bring the X-Men film rights back to Marvel. Of Of course, nobody really knows what's happening with the New Mutants film at the moment. The villain is supposedly Mr. Sinister. I want to see Mr. Sinister. Of course, X-Men Dark Phoenix has had numerous reshoots, but the trailer is in the cinemas now. I'm trying to stay away from it because I do like the X-Men films. But early buzz is this Dark Phoenix film is going to be a bit of a shocker. Fingers crossed it's going to be okay. Talking of X-Men, one of my favourite shows, The Gifted. Well, Fox's gifted showrunner Matt Nix doesn't think the show will get a full third season on network television. Again, gutted. But he does think there's hope for the series, yet as a streaming show. I don't anticipate a 22 episode season on broadcast, but I'd love to be wrong, Nix told Slash Film, while discussing the show's uncertain future. I think that my sense is that the most likely thing is that if we come back, we'll come back in some sort of creative way, some partnership, because I think that we've discovered is that fans of The Gifted are big fans of The Gifted. We have a solid fan base. Yeah, I'm one of them. It's a fantastic show. And it's a little small for the broadcast networks, but we do well on streaming, so there may be, my hope is, that there's something to work out there in that realm. The Gifted has not been publicly renewed for a third season on Fox. This is a bad day for me. Its fate is complicated by Disney's pending purchase of certain 21st Century Fox assets, which will give film and television rights for the X-Men, on which The Gifted is based, to Marvel Studios. The other X-Men show, Legion, begins its third and final season this summer on Fox's sister station FX, which is included in the assets to be acquired by Disney. You know, Legion's a tough watch. I've watched season 1. I'm going to get into season 2. Not too disappointed with that one because it is a bit far out there for me. But like I say, The Gifted, all day, every day. My first Polaris is low grade, but one of my favourite books in my collection. I do like the character. And finally, USA Network has ordered a live-action television series based on Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, with Grant Morrison involved, according to Variety. Morrison is working on the pilot with David Weiner and Brian Taylor, with a project originally set in 2015 at USA's sister company Sci-Fi, under the NBC Universal umbrella. Aldous Huxley's Door to Force, Brave New World, is a darkly satiric vision of a utopian future where humans are genetically bred and pharmaceutically anesthetized. Wow, this is a mouthful. To passively serve a ruling order, reads Harper Perennial's description of the book, a powerful work of speculative fiction that has enthralled and terrified readers for generations. It remains remarkably relevant to this day as both a warning to be heeded as we head into tomorrow and as a thought-provoking, satisfying entertainment. Morrison, Weiner, and Amblin Television's Darryl Frank and Justin Falvey are set as executive producers. Weiner has been tapped as showrunner, with Owen Harris directing the first episode. Brave New World. Picked up by Sci-Fi. That's it, guys. That's a wrap. I've tried to keep it under 30 minutes. It was a ton to get through. Thanks for watching. That's Daz. Over and out. Bye for now.